Even if one of your enemies passed away for some reason, and you just alluded to it like, haha, he gone, he ain't gonna miss him. I could understand that more than being like, I had on a red shirt, black pants, YG nice. I switched them down at 9:25 exactly. Bro, at that point, just go to the police station and tell them what you did. Ksoo, let his freedom go. If you don't know who Ksoo is quite literally a menace to society. He's a rapper from Jacksonville, Florida, who became very popular for his, to put it nicely, distasteful lyrics. On my channel, I really don't try and bash anybody. I don't really try and talk very negatively about anybody. I try to come with a very well-rounded opinion of the topic and try not to judge anybody too harshly. And quite honestly, as much as I really want to have a little bit of sympathy and empathy for Ksoo, I really can't. He actually has 2 pending unalive charges. And recently he was found guilty of the first one. Now, I think anybody who was remotely following this case knew it was kind of inevitable that this was gonna happen. Young and A say he put like a bunch of money towards his lawyers. But bro, even the best lawyers in the world probably could not have stopped Ksoo from getting convicted of this. If you don't believe me, this is a small list of things that Ksoo has done since committing this crime. I don't even have to say allegedly no more. Honestly, even before he was convicted, I didn't really have to say allegedly, because quite honestly, he would tell you himself. Like I said, bro, I want to have sympathy and empathy for Ksoo, but I really can't. Because how do you have sympathy for somebody who literally gloats about unaliving somebody on the internet and makes songs about it? I ain't gonna lie, bro. The first time I heard Young and A's, Fulio, J. Breezy, Spin the Benz, Ksoo, all of them from like that Jacksonville talent, when they were like dissing each other and dissing each other's dead friends and all that stuff, that was the first time I really listened to a song and was like, I don't really feel like I could listen to this. I actually feel uncomfortable listening to this. It literally feels demonic, bro. Especially when that was first popping around COVID and stuff like that. I remember telling them, I don't like listening to this music. I feel like it legitimately has bad energy. And that's not just because I like listening to Christian music and stuff like that. Like I listen to YoungBoy, I listen to a lot of gangster rap, but this like literally created this whole other genre. I wouldn't even call this drill music. It seemed like these was just people who was unaliving people who just decided to hop on a mic one day. And quite honestly, I don't even understand the point in doing this. I feel like if you were going to commit crimes, isn't the point of committing crimes not to get caught? When you record songs like what Ksoo has done, I really equate it to going in the street, getting a microphone or something and yelling, hey, I just unalived somebody. Bro, you realize when you put music out to the public, anybody can hear this. Anybody with an internet connection can look at this, including the police. Bro, I know they was just rubbing their hands like Birdman whenever they was listening to your song. You're literally confessing it. And honestly, I really thought that in a lot of his songs that he was saying stuff that was alluding to their unalives, but I didn't think he actually was directly involved. Even that little saying, Ksoo make your face go, I thought that was just something he was saying to make himself tougher. I didn't know he was like literally like alluding to what he did in the unaliving, which is insane to me. I don't understand why you would think any of this is a good idea. Then obviously there was that infamous post on Instagram when he was like, unalive somebody, then go get my toes done. Bro, why would you even put the world in any of this? I don't understand the thought process behind it. And it's not even an uncommon thing. It's not something that just happens in Jacksonville. I feel like rappers all around the world have adopted this as it's become more and more popular. And for some reason, on their point of view, they think this makes them look cool or something. But honestly, every regular person who looks and listens to this song probably just thinks you're an idiot. To any upcoming rappers who want to be in that field, I get that you're a gangster rapper, and even if you have ops, I can even see you saying that you don't like your opposition and things of that nature. But bro, referencing direct criminal acts that you were involved in is insane. Even if one of your enemies passed away for some reason and you just alluded to it like, haha, he gone, he ain't gonna miss him. I could understand that more than being like, I had on a red shirt, black pants, YG nice. I switched them down at 9:25 exactly. Bro, at that point, just go to the police station and tell them what you did. Another big point of controversy in this case was that Ksoo's dad ultimately ended up testifying against him. Now, honestly, I've seen a lot of stories. Ksoo slid for his dad. They didn't call his dad. And honestly, I don't know what's true or what's not. But I do know this. I was watching this interview and I agree with what this guy, Gangsta Williams, said.
Now, in my old age, if my son in the wind and spray something now, civilian me, until my dad come pick me up, and then I go pick him up and they didn't kill somebody, I got to tell the people. I got to tell the truth now. Got to put it in the law hand. son, you going to jail. You there? I can't go. I can't. No, man. I can't, bro. I can't do it, man. Why are you gonna call me and put me under that situation, bro? All these people you know you could have called. Catch a lift. Call an Uber. Don't put, man, all right? Son, you call me. You ain't gonna tell her where I am? I got you. Don't worry, I got it. Yeah, man, there was something going down. Because now you put me in a situation where you taking me from my family or what I got going on. I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Honestly, if this was me, bro, I would never put my dad in a position to where he even had to think about testifying against me. And quite honestly, if I committed a crime and my dad testified against me, it would be nobody but my fault. And I understand it's different. His dad was more of a street guy and maybe even helped him enact some of these crimes. So I do understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, bro, whenever you doing activities like this, bro, you can't blame nobody but yourself. Unless somebody literally force you, put you in some sort of situation where they were gonna unalive you or your whole family or something, it's really no excuse for committing the crimes in the first place if you weren't forced. You could say he shouldn't have snitched on him, whoever it might be, his dad, his friend, cousin, brother, sister, mother, auntie. But at the end of the day, he was the person who did the crime. So none of this would be even going on if you yourself didn't do the crime. Don't try and shame and blame the snitches. Blame the people who are doing the illegal stuff. Now, I'm not saying I feel like snitching is right, especially whenever you're actively doing the crime with somebody. Now, obviously, if you're a civilian, be on your Bernie Mac stuff.
I said, man, I said, so what you in for? I ain't no punk. I didn't tell on my boy. I said, what, you in jail for another motherfucker? No, you ain't no punk. You a new fool. Cause I'll be damned if I serve time for any of you motherfuckers. I'll be in court just like this. Judge be like, who are you? I'll be like, punk. Your Honor, he killed that motherfucker. Shot him in the head 4 times, kicked him in the face. I tried to call you, but the line was busy.
And quite honestly, I encourage you to be a civilian. It's nice on this side. You don't have to worry about the ops sliding on you and putting you in the zone, bro. I understand why people say that, but at the same time, bro, I feel like you ultimately got to get held accountable for your actions, bro. And if you were insane enough to go out and do something like that and literally gloat on the internet and gloat on songs, how could I feel any other type of way? I even understand people like being misguided to where they do certain things that they shouldn't. They have certain emotions because maybe they lost their friends. We all say we wouldn't do certain things in certain situations, but you really never know what will happen until you're in that situation. So for him to lose people, I do, to a very small certain extent, understand where that rage would come from. But to just go overkill and do stuff like this, I just feel like that comes from a different place. And I don't feel like it's a rage or emotion. I just feel like that's just might be who he is as a person. And ultimately, sometimes you just gotta accept stuff for what they are. At the end of the day, more of the story, don't unalive people. It never ends out good for you, bro. Nothing about the street life, the gangster culture, none of it. It's a popular saying in the streets, bro. The streets always win. The streets is undefeated. So if you really somebody who live in that life, you really somebody who doing that, bro, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get caught up in some way. And just like they always say, it usually only ends 2 ways. Unfortunately for Ksoo, he had to be a victim of one of those 2 ways. And not just him. Think about some of the people who was in this beef. It's a long list of people who was literally unalived or now in jail. Obviously, Fulio unfortunately lost his life too. Ksoo's in jail. Probably the only member with a relatively big name now is Young and Ace. I think Spinner Benz and J. Breezy and all them out too. But even they beefing with each other now. Bro, there's no friends in this, bro. And it's really just nothing to be a part of. So honestly, bro, if you don't get anything from this video, just leave the streets alone. You will not find anything productive there, and I promise you, it will probably lead you to a place you do not want to be. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tune into some of my other videos. They're a little more lighthearted than this one, so you might like that if you need to cheer up a little bit after this. Thank you for tuning in today. See you next time.